And we're not expecting anyone else. So we'll get started. All right. This is the July 13th, 2022 session of the zoning hearing examiner docket. My name is Katie Barron, and I'm the zoning hearing examiner for the city of Cincinnati today, and I will preside over the hearing. The cases before us today are case number ZH20220095 and ZH20220093. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and opposing parties to testify and offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the zoning hearing examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any opposing party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. The public will have an opportunity to speak after the applicant has presented its case. If there is more than one person opposing an application, those persons should decide amongst themselves the length of time each will have to speak. If an opposition group is in attendance, I may request that a spokesperson be chosen to speak on behalf of the group. If the applicant is represented by an attorney, the applicant's attorney may cross-examine any person who has testified at the hearing. If a party of record is represented by an attorney, the attorney for the party of record may present witnesses after the applicant has presented its case and may cross-examine any person who has testified at the hearing. In the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to an application, the applicant shall have an opportunity to rebut the testimony and/or argument offered in opposition. After the applicant has been given an opportunity to rebut any testimony and/or argument offered in opposition, any attorney for a party of record will have an opportunity to make a closing statement. Finally, the applicant will have an opportunity to make a closing statement. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comment. I may also refuse to consider hearsay testimony or documents. This means evidence you want to introduce that consists of a statement made by a person who is not present at this hearing, or a document that includes the statement of a person who's not at the hearing. In the event of a technical difficulty during this video conference technology, I may continue or postpone the hearing at my discretion. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and swear everybody in. If anybody is present who plans to testify, if you can unmute yourself and raise your right hand. All right. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
Perfect. So we'll start with the applicant, and appears you probably have a few representatives. So whoever wants to start with the applicant's presentation is welcome to start.
Hello, my name is Kristen. I am an agent with SMJ International. Which application did you want to start with? Or
let's start with the 4740 Ashtree, if that's okay.
Okay. This is an eligible facilities request to modify an existing support structure pursuant to section 6409A of the Middle Class Tax Relief and Job Creation Act of 2012 and the rules of the Federal Communications Commission. The existing 197-foot tower has been on the site since at least 2006 and is approximately 240 feet from the nearest residential structure in a residential zone. Existing base area has a chain link fence around it, but there is no screen fence. The surrounding area has single-family residential, multifamily residential, and commercial zoning along Ashtree Drive and nearby Hamilton Avenue, with a mix of multifamily, single-family residential, and small commercial retail land uses. Per 1403-07, the land use regulations in SF-10 districts, a proposed expansion of a telecommunications antenna or tower structure is listed in the use regulations and requires a conditional use approval. The proposed use is appropriately located, designed, and configured. Dish proposes to install antennas and antenna equipment on the existing tower and a 5x7 platform in the existing base area. The height of the existing tower is not being increased. The new equipment is located within the existing base area, and the base area is not being increased in size. Based on the staff report, the only potential adverse impact is one of aesthetics. The existing base area has a chain link fence around it, but there is no screen fence. Applicant does not object to approval on the condition that screening of the base area with slats inserted into the existing chain link fence on the west, north, and south sides, or a fabric material or a privacy fence are installed.
And why is this important? Why are you hoping to add this additional equipment and the satellite?
Wireless demand is increasing in Cincinnati due to more people using smartphones and other devices. The capacity of existing nearby towers is reaching their capacity. New capacity antennas are needed to handle the existing and growing need for wireless capacity. Using the existing tower and adding a new mount prevents another new tower from being built in the area. The proposed antennas fill a gap in wireless service for area residents, businesses, and travelers in the area for emergency calls. It will help stimulate the neighborhood economy. This is also a new carrier bringing new service to the area.
All right, great. Does the applicant have anything else on this property?
No, I don't.
Okay, and I can open it up. Is there anybody else that wanted to speak on the Ashtree property? Okay, perfect. Is there anything else you wanted to let me know before we move on to the other property?
No.
Okay, so we'll move on to the 817 Court Street then.
Okay, this is an eligible facilities request to modify an existing support structure pursuant to Section 6409A of the Middle Class Tax Relief and Job Creation Act of 2012 and the rules of the Federal Communications Commission. The existing 105-foot tower has been on the site since at least 2006 and is approximately 350 feet from the nearest residential structure in a residential zone. The subject property is an approximately 50-foot by 35-foot triangular shaped parcel on Court Street near Interstate 75 and has an existing 105-foot tall telecommunications tower. The tower abuts a I-75 exit ramp. The parcel size matches the base area size. The property is in the CC-A Community Commercial Auto Zoning District. Per 1403-07 of the Land Use Regulations in SF-10 districts, a proposed expansion of a telecommunications antenna or tower structure is listed in the use regulations and requires a conditional use approval. The proposed use is appropriately located, designed, and configured. Dish proposes to install antennas and antenna equipment on the existing tower and a 5x7 platform in the existing base area. The height of the existing tower is not being increased. The new equipment is located within the existing base area, and the base area is not being increased in size. Based on the staff report, the base area is screened from the public street and thus does not have any potential adverse impacts on the public.
So that property is already screened.
Correct.
Okay. And then is it the same with this one, that this is gonna help or increase or meet the demand?
Yes.
And will this also prevent another antenna being built?
Yes.
Anything else before we open it up?
No.
Does anybody have anything that they want to present on 817 Court Street? No. All right. Anything before on either of the properties before we close the hearing?
Katie?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to highlight the fact that the first one, did not have screening, and the second one did have screening. So we had a distinction there in our report, and that the other cases recently have been David's put in the condition about the screening on those that didn't have screening, where it was important to have screening for aesthetic reasons. So that's why we did it this way in this one as well, in Ashtree. So I just wanted to highlight that. So if you needed to reference other reports recently or whatever, so.
Okay.
And the applicant's been amenable to that criteria, so they've been really good about that. Trying to improve the aesthetics, where necessary.
All right.
Thanks.
Anything else from anyone else before we close out the hearing? All right, I'm going to close out the hearing then. You should expect a decision from me within 2 weeks.
Okay. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thank you.